What is good? Let's see. Am I good? We're starting out here. Says here I'm live, Broncos country. Looks like everything's going okay. Give you guys some time to join the room if anyone's chilling on YouTube tonight, that is. I'm Chad Jensen. Follow me on Twitter at Chad and Jensen. Your Denver Broncos are in LA, and they currently lead going into halftime, 6-3. Let's see if we got anyone in here yet. Just getting this thing fired up. What's up? Devious J303, what's up, dude? What's good? How you doing? Can you hear me? Am I coming through loud and clear? You know, it's a little bit more complex to test the stream before I go live on YouTube. It's a lot easier on Facebook, but yeah, I just wanted to share some thoughts on this first half of your Denver Broncos. And I want to start first and foremost with, just a quick aside. It's not the Broncos, but can you believe that Andrew Luck has retired from the NFL? Former number 1 overall pick, gone. I'm happy for Chad Kelly. We'll see what the Colts think in terms of, are they going to roll with Kelly? Are they going to go with the other guy there? Are they going to bring in someone else? Is Jacoby Brissett still in Indy? I haven't been following them, but what's up, Tony D? Call, what's good, everybody? But yeah, I'm excited to see what this might spell for Chad Kelly. But let's get to the game. First and foremost, you guys, Kevin Hogan. I'm sitting here live blogging over at our Game Day Open thread. Okay. I'm talking to everybody, engaging in a conversation, and I'm still struggling just to stay awake with Kevin Hogan on the field. Absolutely redonkulous. Such a limiting and unexciting quarterback. That's probably not even a word, unexciting, but man, what a snooze fest. What a snooze fest. I liked seeing, however, that when Brett Rippon came on the field, and granted, things were a little bit more simplified. They were running the 2-minute drill for Brett Rippon, but he went 5 of 5 to open up his first 5 throws before throwing one incomplete. He had some interior pressure in his face when he missed Winfrey in that corner to end the second quarter there, but yeah, encouraging. We'll come back to Brett Rippon and Kevin Hogan, but we finally got to see Jake Butt in action. He's got a few grabs on the night, took a few shots, got up. One of them was kind of an awkward, he kind of went down on his knee, twisted a little bit awkward, and I kind of held my breath. But, hey, he popped up, went back in. Everything seems to be okay there. So it's good to see Jake Butt. And when he's out there, I'm just reminded of how good he can actually be, And I was paying attention to his blocking. He was getting to the second level, doing some good things there. So really good to see Jake Butt out there. Juwan Winfrey leads the Broncos in targets. He's been targeted 3 times. He's got 1 reception, 19 yards. And the Broncos defense, we've seen a couple of nice penetration plays from that D-line. DeMarcus Walker's made a play on 3rd down, no less. We've seen some good plays from Deshaun Williams, which is who Walker's really actually competing against. And then, of course, Draymond Jones has made some plays. We've seen Justin Hollins flash. Okay at times from Jamal Carter. Sua Cravens, man. I mean, yes. Devontae Bosby gave up some ground on that deep pass, the first 51-yard connection that the Rams had on that opening possession. But that angle that Cravens took actually cut off Bosby from being able to break on that ball. And, different stakes, obviously, but that was a Raheem Moore-esque terrible angle to the football. So, let's see what's on y'all's mind. And, by the way, I just put the link in here for our Game Day Open thread. I don't know if everyone's out chilling, what they got cooking. It is a Saturday night, so it's kind of a quieter game thread than usual. I could use you guys over there. Go log in, use your Google account, log in. It's free. Join the conversation. Let's talk some Broncos in the second half. We're going to get a long look at Brett Rippon. All right, Tony says, what's up, Chad? Quick question. Why is Hogan still on the roster? I know. And I told you guys this on the podcast earlier this week twice, that there is a distinct possibility that despite Brett Rippon being an undrafted rookie and having not seen any action since the Hall of Fame game, that he is today a better more viable quarterback or backup quarterback option for the Denver Broncos than Kevin Hogan. Let's see here. From Holy Diver, no reason to keep Hogan. Rippon's energy was immediate once he came in. Yes, I agree on that to a point. One thing to keep in mind, though, he was running the 2-minute drill. It's a little bit more freeing. The defense is playing a little bit differently. Let's wait to see, form our full evaluation with what we see in the second half. But I'm with you, dude. It seemed pretty apparent, pretty obvious, pretty palpable. What are my thoughts on the run defense, Kyle? Not good from the second and third team. I'm not loving the off-ball linebackers. The D-line, more often than not, on first and second down, are getting blown off the ball. In key moments, they've come up okay in terms of third down and getting off the field. But, yeah, the Rams, let's take a quick look here. The Rams have 34 rush yards. The Broncos have 33. So not a huge discrepancy, between the two teams. But, yeah, it could be better. D. Brown says, I'm very happy to see Jake Butt. Kind of see why they held on to him so much and so long. Yeah, I mean, he's a talented guy, man. He's big. He's got phenomenal size. He catches the ball. And he's improved as a blocker since he entered the league. So I'm telling you, the Denver Broncos, they originally envisioned Jake Butt as being their long-term tight end one. But after they nursed him for his rookie year, red-shirted rookie year, got him up to health, and then he tore his ACL 3 games into his first year, technically. The Broncos had to hedge. They had to hedge against the possibility that Jake Butt was just going to be cursed by the injury bug. So they grabbed Noah Fant in the first round. Now, the way the Broncos envision this, eventually, it's not going to happen out of the gates. Noah Fant, tight end 1. Jake Butt, tight end 2. And the best teams in the NFL nowadays have 2 good tight ends, right? And Noah Fant offers some elite athleticism and explosive playmaking ability once it slows down between his ears. Let's see here. What is the word on Malik Reed? Is he injured? Haven't heard. Holy Diver, I'm not sure on that. And I don't have the snap counts don't get released to me until after the game. But let me see here. He's not on the stat sheet. What else we got here? Punt returner. Wow. Yeah, it's looking like it's going to be another year of pedestrian punt and kick returning from the Denver Broncos. No one has really separated. I think if you're going for value there, where you're trying to kill 2 birds with 1 stone, you go with maybe River Craycraft, keep him as the 6th wide receiver, let him return punts, and then, take your pick at kick returner. Are we going to carry 3 quarterbacks on the roster this year? Call. Yes, you have to at this point. Now, if Drew Lock hadn't injured his thumb, the Broncos, there's a good chance that they would have cut both Kevin Hogan and waived Brett Rippon, only to try and re-sign Rippon to the practice squad. But now they virtually have to, because they're not going to waive Drew Lock. They're probably at this stage not going to put him on injured reserve with designation to return. So what that means is Joe Flacco and Lock take up 2, right, of those roster spots. What it comes down to is that third, is it going to be Rippon or is it going to be Hogan? And what the Broncos have to decide is what's more important to them. Fair to below middling quarterback play from a guy who's got 1 start in the NFL, terrible statistics, boring, lackluster pedestrian quarterback play from Kevin Hogan, but he does have 4 years in the league, or a guy like Brett Rippon who, he's shown more of a spark, more of a propensity, more poise, more command in the very few reps he's gotten in the preseason, but he's an undrafted rookie. At the end of the day, Joe Flacco, for the most part, has been a pretty stable quarterback in terms of staying healthy and being able to count on him week in, week out. While Drew Lock heals, it's not like the Broncos are going to have to lean on Rippon. So if I'm Denver, unless a tragedy or something strikes, if I'm Denver, I'm sticking with Brett Rippon as my backup while Lock heals. And then once Lock heals, whatever it might be, 3-4 games into the regular season, now I have a decision to make. Do I want to risk Brett Rippon to the waiver wire to try and sneak him onto the practice squad so I can free up that additional roster spot? Or do I just do what the Broncos did in 2015 with Peyton Manning, Brock Osweiler, and Trevor Siemian, where you really did not need to carry 3 QBs, but you did because you liked Simeon's upside. He played so well during the preseason, you didn't want to risk him to the waiver wire. My gut right now is telling me it's going to be Rippon. It's not going to be Hogan. However, the one thing that whispers in the back of my mind that might not be the case is Fangio seems to have a soft spot for Kevin Hogan. I don't know if it's the old Stanford connection or what, because Fangio was defensive coordinator at Stanford 1 year. I don't know if that's what it is, just the sharing some, former stops on the football path, but we'll see. We got thoughts on the run game this preseason. Vitrone, it's really hard to say because when the first team has been out there, they've looked pretty solid in terms of running the football. When the 2s and the 3s go out, it's very hit and miss. There's been a few times where, they're able to consistently open up holes, and, Khalfani Muhammad in particular is able to make some hay, and then they go through a, 2 or 3 series in a row where they cannot get a block in edgewise. So I think it's about what you would expect. I'd like to see more. I would expect that 3.5 games into the preseason, we'd see at least one explosive rushing play, but we're yet to see that. Carl Steele says we're hiding Rippon behind Hogan so he can squeak through to the practice squad. Okay, maybe. You're doing your team a disservice, though, if you do that. And now that he's playing, you don't bring him in at the bottom of the second quarter to make him sit on the bench the rest of the game. NFL teams are going to get some tape on Rippon, especially in this second half and in the preseason finale next week. So I don't think the Broncos are going to be able to sneak Rippon onto the practice squad if he continues to play well. Sheldon says, what's up, Chad? How's the game? I didn't get to watch. Love the pod. What's up, Sheldon? So far, so good in terms of it's about what you'd expect, right? 3 field goals by both squads combined. Broncos lead 6-3. It's, oh, look, there's my wife. What's up, babe? It's about what you'd expect. No offensive explosions from your Denver Broncos offensively, and the defense has kept it tight. I liked what I saw from that Rams quarterback, though, Brandon Allen. When he was in early on, he had a few big-time throws. So Daniel Kroll says, what do you think about Benson for that 6th receiver? I like Benson. All things being equal on an offensive side, I would take Benson over any other guy at this point, and that includes Brendan Langley, that includes River Craycraft. However, for whatever reason, the Broncos don't seem to be too stoked on him as a returner. So if you're going to carry 6 receivers, that 6th receiver has to offer dual utility as a returner, obviously playing on special teams. And I don't know that that's really in the Broncos' wheelhouse right now with regard to Trinity Benson. Diamond Rattler says, running game looks bad. Yeah, dude. It's just, you got a collection of guys who are still new to the league. They're new to playing with each other. And it's pretty ugly. So where do we go from here? You guys, there's a whole second half left to go. We're going to get another probably the longest look, actually, we've gotten at Brett Rippon. So this is going to be interesting. Immediately following the game, Zach and I will get together for the gut reaction episode of the Huddle Up podcast. Look for that. Sometime later this evening, we'll publish it as soon as we record it and upload it. And then we still got 2 more quarters left of football. Come join me over at the Mile High Huddle Game Day open thread for this game. I'll put the link one more time in the comments. Come hang out. Log in. It's free. You go to the top of the webpage when you first go to milehighhuddle.com. You see the Mile High Huddle logo. In the bottom right-hand corner of that logo is a plus sign. Click on it. It'll ask you to log in using one of your Google accounts. Log in, and then you can comment. I want to hear your guys' voice. Come join us over there. It's a big way to engage in the conversation and also support us. So, meanwhile, follow me on Twitter at Chad and Jensen. Stay tuned for all the content that's going to be coming here on YouTube, from the podcast to the videos we're going to be cranking out. Zach and I keep saying it. I'm not lying to you. I promise it's coming. We're going to be doing some live sessions and some cool stuff with both he and I on screen in the conversation for you guys here in the very, very near future. So stay tuned with us. Kumar, Jeff, Diamond, everybody, appreciate all you hanging out with me here, and we will talk to you in the very near future.